What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's time for episode 21, and I can't stop lying to y'all. I'm sorry, but I did it again. I didn't go to spring training. I went through spring training. It's opening day. Okay? I'm sorry. But, this one was a bit more conscious. I was like, I'm just going to go through spring. I don't think it has to be on, on recording necessarily. I like to do it sometimes, kind of mix it up. But I don't know if spring's going to always be a staple every season. If there's value in it, you guys really want to see how I run spring consistently, then I can make sure it's in there. But other than that, it'll be every once in a while. I usually kind of go 8 to 10 games to start, make a first round of cuts. In fact, I can kind of look at the schedule and show where I was making the cuts. So we started late Feb, 3 games there. I think it was the 10th. I usually use the off days as kind of points of demarcation to kind of start looking at the stats. Okay, who needs to be cut? Who's never making the team? So, the off days were weird here. It was the 7th and the 10th. So I didn't look until the 10th. I think I cut a couple guys. Then I went all the way here to the 23rd, where we have back-to-back off days. And those are our last 2. So usually they're a bit more spread out. But the cuts were kind of easy this year too. So that was another thing. I kind of knew what the team was going to be. It was going to be hard for anybody to force their way onto the club with a big season, or a big spring rather. We can take a look at some spring stats in a moment, but I do have some things to catch y'all up on. So let me pull up my handy dandy notebook here in the form of a Word doc. Just wanted to say handy dandy notebook. A few more signings that happened that I think I covered some, but I'm not entirely sure. So let's just start with these. Rowdy Tellez, I'm just going to type them in. I think Rowdy Tellez is headed to the Mets on a big deal, and he's getting $18.4 million per year. For over 2 years, 17.8 this year, 19 next. That's a pretty big deal at 31-32 for him, but he just led the league in homers and ribbies in the American League. So it makes sense. Now, he could not keep the trajectory up of what he did in real life in 2022 into 2023. So he's carried that momentum in this universe, and he's a dude. He really crushed it in 2023. Came back to earth in 24, but was still hitting for the power, right? He kind of has that power base where even if the average in the LBP tank a little bit, you're still getting you're still getting that value from the power. And then last year spikes back up with the power. The OBP and average were still kind of weak, but you're getting those bombs and 30 plus bombs, 100 plus rips. Now, is he going to run with Alonso? Alonso's still there, so Tellez is a DH. I don't hate that. JD Martinez got paid probably about that much this year to DH, so I don't mind that. That's not too bad. Yandy Diaz signing a huge deal. You want to talk about somebody who's built on some momentum? We see here, huge 2023 with 21 bombs, right? He kind of finally had the power surge, and he has been able to carry it. 22 in 2024, and then 16 last year. 16 not crushing it, right? Like, these are not huge power numbers, but this was a guy who was hitting 14, 2 in 2020. Who cares? 13, 9. Like, it was underwhelming. So 21, 22, and 16 is a pretty nice trio of seasons. That said, he's going into his age 34 season, and Seattle said, here's 494, 93.6 if we want to be precise with it, 23.4 mil for 3 years guaranteed, and a 4th if he hits 550 PA. I don't know about that. Now, to immediately play devil's advocate on myself, I look at this profile, and I'm thinking maybe a little bit too much real-life Yandy Diaz, who I still think he might have 45 power right now. I don't think we necessarily saw the real surge a real-life surge in 2023. I feel like it was just a hot run. Good hitter, though, right? Like, a lot of bat to ball, doesn't strike out. I mean, that's saying the same thing 2 ways, but, hard line drive guy, can crush the ball. So the batting average is a pretty strong guarantee, mixes it in with a decent walk rate, and all of a sudden you're talking good OBPs, even if the power isn't there. Should age well here, but I still don't like it for 4 years. I'm just never paying a 34-year-old 4 years unless they're, just a 75 grade monster, like an anomaly of some sort. I'm not entering into a contract at 34 like that, is what I'm trying to say. Ranger Suarez, I think I did cover last episode, but it was a while ago. So we'll go ahead and bring him back up, because I think I was mentioning Zach Gallen went out there and they did a righty-lefty combo. So anyways, 4 years, 76.2, 17.8, 18.8, 19.8, for 2 years after that. Now I am remembering, because I had called him like the big home run suppressor or something, because that's been his strength. He doesn't strike many guys out. His walk rate's okay, but he does not allow bombs. And he's going to go to San Francisco, Ranger Suarez is, and probably allow even fewer, because that park stifles bombs. So that's a good combo there. Although you could say it almost wastes the suppression a bit, right? Like maybe you should get a guy who has a little bit of a home run issue that you can help him improve his home run. Whereas, like, can Ranger Suarez get that much better? I mean, he was 0.6 last year, but 0.2 the year before. We'll see. But anyway, big deal for him. Tyler O'Neill heads out to Boston. We'll see how that fit goes. He's staying with a red uniform. Oh, he had gone to Atlanta. So he went St. Louis, Atlanta, now Boston. What is this, the J.D. Drew trajectory? I don't know if those were the order for him or not, but he hit all three of those clubs. Coming off of a nice season, a 4-win campaign for Tyler O'Neill. Gets him 2 years, 25.6, 12.8 in each year. That's not a bad little signing. Still has strong defense, great profile, leader, loyalty, work ethic, solid speed profile. The 55 contact and 60 home run carry him. The plate skills are weak, which would make me nervous about somebody like this. But I don't mind 13 mil. I really don't. That's a solid signing by Boston. Here's one that'll kind of get you. Nick Ahmed, 20 bomb. Nick Ahmed, old slick Nick, and it's the White Sox. Of course it's the White Sox, going 360 for him. Now it is 2 guaranteed at 20 per, with the third coming in for 135 games, but man, I don't know. He's pretty much of kind of a workhorse, right? 153, 150 games the last 2 years. I don't know how much time he's missed due to injury in real life. Let me see. This only has the injury history since we started the sim, which actually has a couple. I mean, a 5-6 week injury and a 3-week injury, so nothing too crazy. But I think it's mostly been a lack of quality hitting and just the fact that they can't really fully, put him in the lineup every day with that kind of bat, more so than anything else with regards to why he doesn't have a lot of games played in some of these seasons. I think 2022 was an injury. But anyway, 20 mil. It's a 4-win campaign that he's coming off of. And I don't want to say it's entirely built off of the glove, but it's a big, big part of the glove, y'all. 87 WRC plus. You've been following me for a while. You give me 80s WRC plus total, something in the 80s, with a premium glove up the middle, then I'm going to take it. Am I going to pay 20 mil for it? No. But I will take it. That said, if he is like a 75 even, I think he can range as low as like a 75 and play 140 plus games, I think he's going to earn this deal. I just feel like that's not the best place to spend 20 mil. But the math does check out as far as what his skills offer. So I don't love it, but I think there is some it has a defensible angle. The Houston Astros getting our old friend Eduardo Rodriguez. He's coming from a tour in Colorado and Cincinnati the last 3 years. And he led the league. Okay, this was the same year. Sorry, 2024 started in Colorado, went to Cincy, spent another year in Cincy after that. Led the league in home runs that year. Home run suppression, I should say. 0.6 homer 9. It's so impressive. I mean, that's unbelievable. And of course, it didn't do him any good. I mean, it did him some good. He probably would have had a 7 ERA without it. But instead, I mean, he still had a 5 ERA, 4.98. So, like, imagine if he doesn't keep the ball in the yard, like, at that clip. 320 BABIP. Then it was 323 this past year with a 1.3 homer 9. So he'll love going to Minute Maid. Even though Minute Maid's not easy to pitch in, it's better than where he's been. He signs a 2-year, $25.4 million deal. That's not a bad signing. I think he could rebound in Houston. I think environment is playing a big role in his failures here, and that could be a nice little signing by Houston. Although they're bad in this world, so maybe they're just getting him to eat up some innings. Then we also had Mitch Haniger going to Philly. Haniger got to be getting up there in age at this point, right? He's 35. It's going to be a 3-year, $39.9 million deal, call it 40. It's 13.8 for 2 years, and then 12.3 vesting for 550 plate appearances. We're seeing a lot of vesting options, and I like that. Make them earn it. If they put up a particular volume the year before, obviously you can't guarantee that they're going to be there again, but at least At least that way they're not bilking 2 years off of you. You know? Because if you do 3 years guaranteed and they barely play in 27 and then you got to follow up in 28 with another 12.3 mil, that stinks, especially for a fragile guy. So vesting option makes sense here. I think Philly protected themselves. He's a 3-win bat the last 2 years. Solid signing. Then Nick Martinez goes to Colorado. Oof. He went to Cincy in real life, so 6 one, half dozen the other. I know I said that in like a recent episode. I use that phrase a lot just to say, you know, I should basically just say Spider-Man meme because that shit's the same. But this is going to be a challenge. I mean, he does have 60 movement. At least that's his strength. And he is a ground ball pitcher, but it never works in Colorado, y'all. Pitching. Just straight up pitching. There's occasional seasons, but there's a reason that we can remember damn near every one right off the top of our head because they're so freaking rare. How hard is it to remember 4 things? German Marquez, Aaron Cook, Ubaldo's obviously the big one. And didn't freaking like Jeff Francis have like a decent year? There, I'm done. There, Kyle Freeland, 5. Like, it's so few that you can just rattle them off and be like, okay, well, hit me up in 5 years when the next one happens. Anyway, Daniel Vogelbach signs with St. Louis. 2 years, 12 mil. 11.7. Sorry, y'all. I got a dog hair on my tongue. And I know that's gross, but that's why I'm trying to get it off because it's annoying me. Coming off a 2.2 win season. Yeah. I mean, look, ADI is awesome, okay? He has a 392 OBP. He can earn 11.7 mil. I can leave it at that, or I can continue to go further and nitpick a little bit and explain why I wouldn't pay 11.7, because I feel like I could find this off of maybe not the waiver wire, but deeper on the free agent pool or in my minors. Now, the 80 grade I there's a reason I highlighted that, because it's such a strong carrying tool. You probably can't just find 80 lying around in your minors, but I don't know. It's okay. It's an okay deal. He's going to earn it. And then the last one I have for y'all is Chris Bassett going to the White Sox. Back to the White Sox, remember. He was there a long time ago. Did he start there? He did. Started there back in 2014, then went to Oakland, Mets, Toronto, and comes back where it all began. And he's a nice control pitcher, signing for 1 year, 12.3. That seems like a decent enough deal to eat up 150, 170 innings. And, you know, will be decent. Kind of a mid-rotation, kind of a 3-4, 4-5-ish, depending on where his variance goes in a given year, but not too bad. Last episode, I did forget something when I was going over the players we got. I talked about our trades, talked about how we got O'Neal Cruz. I forgot Rule 5. And the rule, let's call it the Rule 5 period, because there were 2 pitchers out there that I saw in the Rule 5 pool. We picked one and we traded for another. So the first one we got was Emiliano Teatro, who was a monster coming out of Boston. 70, 65, 45. 40 stam, so he's borderline starter. We have him in the bullpen right now. He did not pitch well for Boston last year, but it's 17 1/3 innings. He still struck out 24%. It was a 15% walk rate that really hurt him, of course, and a 383 BABIP. I mean, it's 17 innings. Who gives a crap? I wonder, did they get him? Okay, they got him off of waivers on August 7th. So, you know, you can make a case like, this guy's pretty good. He's 25. Why they cut him? But he's already been waived once before. And so I don't mind taking him. You know, I watch some people that play with rules like they won't claim people under a particular age, and I respect that. I think that's cool. You know, play with your own rules, make it tighter and everything. I don't have a hard, fast rule about it. I think I referenced this recently too. Am I just referencing everything that I've already said? But like how I put Gavin Stone back on the Dodgers, like he's just such a bona fide, obvious starter. And when I mean bona fide, I mean like he's got 50 plus stam, starters arsenal. He is a starter. Like I don't know how good he's going to be, but he was a locked in starter. Teatro is a hybrid guy. He's a reliever. He's a swingman. There's no guarantees. These guys float around all the time. They crop up on a different team, and all of a sudden they're the stud closer, and it's like, where did this guy come from? It's because relievers are dime a dozen. They're fungible. I don't say that to be nasty. It's just the truth of relievers. And I'm trying to justify taking him because, again, maybe I feel a little guilty about it, but not really. I'm just explaining it. I'm not really trying to be defensive about it. Nobody ever says, like, why do you pick up those guys? I just want to shout out, and I will actually directly shout out the person who
has that rule, which I thought is cool. And I considered picking it up, but I haven't done it. He has numbers at the end of his thing, so I have to get the numbers. It's Faye 164, FAYE 164. Runs great series, comes out quick with them. Just started a new Nationals rebuild, has a big Rockies one, has a Nashville Stampede expansion team that he did. So check him out, Faye 164. You know what? I should open this up and leave it open so I can put a link in the description. Hopefully I remember to do that. If not, put a comment. Say, hey, idiot, you forgot the link. And I'll be like, damn, why'd you call me an idiot? Then I'll remember that I told you to, and you'll be off the hook. We also picked up, via trade, Jairo Vasquez. Now, he was also available in the Rule 5. Now, him I have no reservations about taking. This is your standard fungible arm that like can latch on at a particular place and really dominate, or bounce around to 3-4 organizations and never really click. He is 24, so he's very young, but he's a side armor with 60, 65, 40, and 40 stamina. So he's not really going to be starting. There is a huge split, and that's being a side armor in a nutshell. Plus 15 stuff, plus 20 movement, and plus 5 control against righties for him. So Jairo Vasquez, you know, he was the Rule 5 pick. Sorry, Teato was who we traded for. Or no, who I claimed off waivers. I didn't trade for anybody. I'm lying again. Man, I've been on a lying streak. I don't want H-Bomber to come get me. Anyway, I claimed Teato off waivers, and Vasquez we took in the Rule 5. Because if he doesn't work out and the sidearm becomes too much, you know, if lefties are just eating him alive, we'll give him back. We'll get him back to Baltimore and they can figure it out. So we scooped those two. Meant to cover it last episode, forgot to do that. Now let's get into the international amateur free agents, and then we'll go over the starting team for our season coming up. So let's go international here. And we got 3 guys. First, we got Luis Dorado. That's our big dog. We paid $3.4 million for him. No, I meant to go to history. $3.4 million out of Venezuela. He's a 16-year-old pitcher with the potential to be 75, 65, 60. Obviously, that's a pipe dream. We know things will smooth out. He probably won't be that good, but you love that sort of huge upside with a fastball, slider, sinker. It is 2 fastballs and a slider, but a sinker is a distinct pitch from a fastball. And, you know, the fact that he's already 45, 35, 40 on those 3 pitches at 16 is really encouraging. Like, those are strong pitches for a child. He's throwing 94, 96, has 50 stam, high loyalty, low financial ambition. Those two go hand in hand. I'm not as concerned about those, as I always mention. He's durable already, which you love to see. From a youngster, you know, it can change. You know, a couple injuries, all of a sudden he's down to normal. Throw in a 3rd injury, and boom, he's fragile. But at least you're starting from the best point that you, or the second best point that you can. There's also Iron Man, which I think you can't start from there. I think you have to show, like, you have to start at durable and work up to it. So at least he's given an opportunity for that. Then we got Jesus Geraldo at $2 million flat, and he is a center fielder coming out of the Dominican at 17 years old. 80, 70, 55, 40, 65. The 40 was the eye, and you know, it's that classic cliche of like, you don't walk off the island, you're here to hit. You get it. You can develop the discipline later. It makes sense when you think about it. It's like these kids trying to change their lives, their families' lives. They want to hit. Eye and discipline is a skill that will be valued, but to really get the big bucks and show that you can become something, they're always going to value the crazy bat profile upside with a bad eye versus, versus the opposite of like some great eye with a weaker bat, you know? So, because again, you can grow into an eye. You can teach patience, not 100%. It's not easy to do. You can't just start taking walks or anything like that. But if you're gonna change a guy, it's like you can't teach him necessarily how to just become a stud hitter, but you can help him work on patience. So anyway, Jesus Geraldo has a good defensive profile already too. 60 range, 70 arm in the outfield, 50 error. I'm not that worried about that. High work ethic, low financial ambition. We got lots to like here at $2 million. And then our last guy was a little sneaky cheap guy, Luis Morales, $250,000, y'all. And listen, he doesn't have great stuff right now. but I love the movement and control profile, or at least the potential. 75 movement, 80 control. Could be this big time finesse guy, extreme ground baller, throws 89, 91 right now at 16 with a slider, changeup, sinker. I mean, why not take the shot? It's 40 stuff, yeah, but you can build on that. Throw a few miles per hour on the velo, teach him a curveball or something. Obviously, you can't pick what they can possibly learn, but if he learns another pitch, all of a sudden his stuff is at 50, and now you're talking about, a front end starter if the movement and control come together. Frankly, even if we get a reliever out of $250,000 in 3-4 years from now, or 3-4 years when he'll be in kind of like the low minors going, we're talking like probably 6 years from major league debut. Even if that's all we get, that's fine. I have no problems with that. $250,000 well spent. So that was it. Those were 3 guys. We went 2 big dogs and a long shot. They're all long shots, but you know what I mean. A low dollar, high upside type of guy. And I feel pretty good about the international market. So where do we go from here? Let's meet our ball club. Just taking a look at time, making sure everything's not too out of pocket here. So here's the team that we are taking north from Lakeland. Behind the dish, it's Pablo Aliendo. Oh, leads me to the awful news. Dylan Dingler got hurt. Broken hamate bone, 5 weeks. He went out early in spring, missed all of spring, or most of spring, and then 5 weeks here. 5 more weeks rather. That's a real bummer. We'll have him for a big part of the season, so that's good, but I do worry if this is going to eat into some of his power, which I was really hoping to tack on a little 5-piece to, to maybe the home run in the eye and elevate him a little bit. This could bring him back, and then all of a sudden you're talking about a pretty pedestrian bat. I mean, it's already not special at an 85, but if you start getting down in the low 70s, that could be trouble. So I'm nervous about what's going to happen with Dingler. He's still a great catcher behind the dish, but I was really hoping for the bat to advance. We'll hold out hope for that, but kind of a bummer there. And then Alex Lang cooked. Torn elbow ligament. He gone for the year. That was on March 1st. So it's a bummer to lose a reliever. He didn't have a great year last year. He's still a good reliever, though. Unfortunately, this could kind of spell the end for him. He's ARB eligible, but he'll be a couple mil, and I doubt I'll pay that coming off the injury. So that's a bummer. So those are the injuries. Now back to Pablo Aliendo, who's now our starting catcher. You see the bat. There's not much to see there. It's all yellow, but 65 ability, 60 arm with a great leadership profile behind the dish. He can be that team leader type. I'm happy. What's he unhappy about? Role on the team. You're the starting catcher. He's like, I want to be a bench player. I don't want to start. I wonder if that's actually it. What if I put Delay as the starter? Will he get mad? Nah, he's chill. No, I'm still going to start Aliendo, but that's weird that he's mad about that. It's like, oh, so you don't want to be the starter. Okay, cool. Anyway, Delay's backing him up. A little bit better bat, also 65 ability, 60 arm, a humble personality class. So we got pretty much the standard catchers that that I normally go for. I will punt the bat a bit to get the great defense and the leadership qualities if I can get them. We got Torque over at first. He's really coming into his own. Had a huge year last year, 130 WRC plus, a 3-win campaign with 31 bombs, only 69 ribs and 73 runs. That's, a little bit of an indictment of our ball club. 247, 340, 523, solid season. Can we build on that this year? Can we go another 30 bombs with 90 to 100 plus ribs? That'd be fantastic with 90 plus runs as well. And he's been playing a bit of outfield. And I probably should have trained him up in right during spring. I did forget to do that. I think I gave him some left field opportunities, but I didn't give him any right field ones. He's straight 55s down the line. He's best in left anyway, but I like having that avenue for him. I don't really see this happening in real life. He seems ready to kind of be locked in at first for a while. But I like getting that extra value. He's a 50 right now with a potential to be 60 in left field, so that helps. Aroldis Martinez will back him up. Actually, we'll do the starters first, then we'll do the backups. Jace Young has hit a little bit of a downfall. His contact power both dipped down to 50, and man, there's just something about going from 55 to 50 that really takes the wind out of your sails with that excitement. He could still put up a very similar season, even though he's kind of all 50s down the line now, except for 55I and 45 Void K. We're certainly not projecting for another 4-win campaign or even a 148 WRC plus, but he wasn't, like, even with the 55 home run and the 55 contact, clearly that's not that much different of a player, meaning he's not out of the realm of possibilities to put up another quality season. Give us a 120 WRC plus, 2.5, 3 wins. We'll take that. We'll see what's up. He doesn't have to play all the time. I could even lower the WAR total because he put up 4 WAR in 100 games. And he's really not going to play much against lefties. So he doesn't even have to be quite that good. Because, yeah, he is going to be platooned. Then over at third, we have the newcomer O'Neal Cruz, who's looking pretty solid. Obviously has that 40 avoid K. That is a bit of a problem. But we'll deal with it. Hopefully he has enough pop to kind of overcome that, play some solid defense with his huge arm and a decent base running profile. And he did get some burn in right during spring. He's up to a 35 now. Again, just for an extra avenue to move around. Willie Adames back at short. Man, I do not remember the episodes. I covered Adames, right? I had to have. I'm checking my thing. I don't know if I did. It's not on this sheet that I have right here, which has episodes 20 and 21. So maybe I didn't because, well, A, I'm a moron, and B, he's back, and so I don't see him as new. But yeah, we brought him back. Signed him on 131. Oh, I guess last episode was at January 1st. So this would be the episode to tell y'all. Y'all, I'm all over the map. This is unprofessional. I'm sorry. 2-year deal. Actually, it's still part of. No, wait, is this from last year's deal? I'm an even bigger moron than I thought. Here I am thinking I didn't tell y'all that I brought him back when we brought him back last year. This is the downside of me recording ahead, is everything starts to blend and I forget things because I'm old, y'all. I'm old. Don't let my face trick you. I'm very old. Anyway, he's our starting shortstop, obviously, because we signed him to a 3-year deal last year. And he'll be chilling there. Sergio Mendoza won the left field job. I don't know if he won it so much as he's got great defense and he's starting against righties. But Kevin Alcantara is going to be getting in a bunch too. He's a better bat. Mendoza's a better glove. We'll kind of let them battle it out. They're just going to be kind of switching on and off there and left. Parker Meadows in center. Now, the tough part is we got 2 kind of dud bats in the outfield. Now, I say dud bat about Mendoza because he only put up a 71 last year. There is upside. The 40 contact really hurts him, and we saw that come through last year. Like, he had some bouts of, like, some quality work, got on a couple multi-game, week-long hitting streak type things and piled up some doubles or whatever. But with the 40 contact, those hot streaks were few and far between, which was the problem, of course. So we'll see what happens with Mendoza. Even the extra 5 in contact, while it would help, still comes up a bit light. I'd rather the 5-eye right now to get that to 55 and then just go from there. But we'll see. He's 27 years old. He gets the left field job. Parker Meadows in center. His bat, he is a little bit below the threshold I was just talking about earlier. I want low 80s from at the very least, from the elite defensive guys up the middle. He's at 75, so he's teetering, but he's 26. This is kind of a make or break year. If we put up another 75, he's going to start losing PT, and we start to look for another option. He becomes a 4th outfielder type. If he moves forward, maybe starts dotting a few 55s and move some of these 45s up to 50 on his profile, then we might have something. I wonder if he could maybe use a platoon. Not really. He's pretty platoon nooch, so never mind. And then Riley Green, our one good hitting outfielder. He's a monster, coming off back-to-back 5-win seasons. Great fielder, great hitter. He's a G. And then Watanabe's DHing. He's coming off a tough year, 90 WRC plus, but he did have quality months. It was just really up and down for him. And hey, that's a 45 contact, 40 avoid K. I mean, that's kind of it in a nutshell. He kind of steamrolled those skills in his first year and just overpowered his way to a huge season. And last year they caught up with him for months at a time. I think I did mention this last episode, so I'm okay to repeat this. I'm not pretending I'm saying it for the first time, but I considered trading him, and there were some decent offers out there, but for me, I was like, I don't want to just overreact to a down season. I've done that before in some sims where I trade a guy on a down note, sell low, because I get something pretty good where I'm like, okay, well, I still got something good, so I'm happy. And then they go back on to maybe not get all the way back up, in this case, to like a 6.5 win season. But if he puts up like a 4-win season somewhere and we get some 2-win decent guy for him, then I'll be like, damn, I should have been a bit more patient. So stuck it out with him. He's a real shot at a premium bat for us to go with Torque and Green. So we need him. I really figured that the stuff that I was looking over, there was some decent stuff. We needed him. So Watanabe stays. Delay, I mentioned, is the backup at catcher. Gabriel Arias is our infield backup. Great glove, a little bit of a bat. Arelvis, he's going to be a power guy backing up first and third. He could play a little bit of left field, never short. Never put him at short. Akil Badu should get some reps against righties. Mendoza could be needs to be looking out for him too. In fact, I'm going to put him at every 4th game, get him some burn there in left. Alcantara, I mentioned, he'll be sharing with Mendoza. He's going to be starting against lefties, but he'll be platooning or mixing in a bit against righties. He's actually the DH against lefties. He's better than Torque. I'm still going to put... I like that Torque can play left, as I was mentioning earlier, but I'm still going to put Alcantara out there. So that's the offense. And a quick look at spring for those that care about those numbers. I know I like to look at them, so I don't mind showing them off to y'all, just so you can see if anybody went off. Sorting by homers, Watanabe popped 6, and he had a huge spring, so fans are getting excited again. Will he pay it off? I don't know. O'Neal Cruz, welcome to the squad, popped 4 homers, got people excited about him. Parker Meadows, for his own part, hit 4. Torque did as well. So we were blasting the ball down in Lakeland. 5 steals for O'Neal Cruz and Meadows as well. 8 steals for Mendoza. He was running wild. And he only got on base at a 313 clip. But he also hit 3 bombs. This is what I'm saying. He's got some sneaky skills. It's kind of like a Kevin Kiermaier type, right? Like when Kiermaier gets dialed in, he can hit. And he'll go on, 3 to 6 week benders, depending on how hot he gets. But then when he's off, you're like, damn, dude, you better make 3 home run saving catches tonight because you are in like a 2 for 58. Like he's got that kind of volatility. So maybe that'll be Mendoza, but maybe we can get some more of that high end this year. Sorting by WRC plus, Watanabe, Cruz, Alcantara, Badu, Green, Aliendo. I mean, everyone except for Delay, Martinez, and Young had an above average spring. So that's good. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. It really, really doesn't. But it's better than a bunch of shit seasons. Why? Because it looks better. That's it. If there were a bunch of double-digit numbers here, I'd be like, damn, that stinks, but it wouldn't drastically affect how I feel about our season. On the pitching side, Tariq Skubal going to be our ace, 55, 45, 55, with a 65 stam, coming off a solid season with 36 starts. Only 196 innings in 36 starts is kind of a bummer. You'd like to see him crack 200 there if he's going to pop 36. But, it's still a career high. I don't want to be too picky there. Good season for him. Jackson Jobe, 55, 55, 50. It's such a mouthful to say 55 a million times. I think I'm going to start something like a 550. But then that's confusing because then is it a 45? I don't know. I'll just keep saying it. Who cares? Jackson Jobe, by the way, coming off a good season himself. Aaron Ashby coming off third. Dude, I really shouldn't. The thought's already marinating. The OOTP gods already incepted it, so I'm just going to say it. But we stayed pretty healthy on the mound last year. Here comes 5 injuries. But yeah, 36 out of Skubal, 34 out of Jobe, 32 out of Ashby. That's pretty nice. Reese Olson, he was only up for 7 starts last year. It didn't go super well, but I like the 18% strikeout minus walk. It's the 45 control, right? He needs to figure that out. With 45 stam does put him at a little bit of a disadvantage to be kind of a 5 and dive. Maybe we kind of measure him. Not measure him. That's not what I meant to say. Limit him. I don't know why measure came to my brain, but let's go 18 batters faced for him. Tone him down a little bit. And make sure he doesn't get into too much trouble there. Enriquez, we have the same thing. He's straight 5s if we're trying the new style, which means all 55s. With 40 stam, he had 81 innings in a swingman year last year, just 5 starts, but then 51 relief appearances. Good year for him, but he's back in the rotation. Teado and Elpidio Perez are our stoppers. Really excited about these two. These are a couple of monsters here. Perez, man, if we could just get that extra 5 stam, he clearly won't work with a 35. He's a 4, sometimes 5 inning guy, so I'd rather have him as a stopper. But if he could get that extra 5 stam, I'll put him right back in the rotation again and give it a shot. Adrian Morejon, looking pretty strong. 45 movement, that's his weakness. He had 25 starts for us last year, and he was pretty solid. But he lost his spot basically to Enriquez right now. I just figure he's a better shot. Oh, did I talk about this last episode? I do not remember. I couldn't have because it was January 1st, and this just happened in March. The Abner Uribe thing worked. It worked. I took a shot on him. I put him on the 40 because I was like, if he's got good relationships, let's just take a shot and see if they can turn him into something. Now, when I say worked, I just mean that he improved. He still has a 30 control, which is horrendous. This is still a lottery ticket, Hail Mary type of shot because 30 control is so difficult to make work. But look what happened in March. His stuff went up to 70, from 70 to 75. His movement went up 10 from 45 to 55. His control went up from 25 to 30. So at least it went up. He added a Scroogey. And all of a sudden he's turned into something quite a bit better here. So we took the shot on the crazy arm upside and we just said, can they get something out of him? And so far they have. So we're going to have him here. In fact, I kind of want to go low leverage and just kind of ease him into things. What we're looking for here, if this is going to work, is Abner Uribe. I mean, if he doesn't hit the ground running, right? Obviously, if he does, that's going to be great. But he doesn't have to. What we're hoping for is do pretty well over the early part of the season and into the summer, and then maybe one of the prospect or player development reports, we get that extra 5 control, and then maybe down the stretch he could become a high leverage guy, and then into the playoffs should we make it. But if not, we're still willing to kind of see where this goes. He put up a 9% walk rate in spring. If he was somehow able to maintain that, that'd be amazing. I don't think that will happen, but sign me up if it does. The 355 BABIP hurt him a bit, as did a 1.5 homer 9. I'm more confident in those two things improving than I am the 9% walk rate holding. Matt Manning, 55 with 55 stamina. He's a backup starter for us. But right now he's got to be a reliever. I know he wants to be in the rotation. He's simply not good enough because even if we put him at starter, then you're going to see the stuff go down to 45. And so we've got better guys, plain and simple. He did give us 27 starts in Toledo last year. At least he's on the major league team this year. So it's a step up. Jackson Coher has been in the real life news lately, getting traded left, right, and center. He's been dealt again after going from KC to Atlanta. Now he's going from Atlanta out to Seattle, and that big deal. Gives you a little bit of the timeline of when I'm recording these. 5.07 ERA, 157 whip with us last year. Clock's kind of ticking. We're keeping tabs on him. He's out of opties. Another bad start this year. Gonna put the screws to him a little bit in terms of having to sharpen up the performance. 384 BABIP. I'm willing to give him a little bit of reprieve on that. I'm sure he contributed to it some, but that's a pretty egregious BABIP. Let's see if it can improve, and if not, he could be out at some point during the year. And then Uribe, and there's the team. So here we are around the 40-minute mark, and I think we can get into the season now. Let's get everything situated. See what the projections say for us. See who our opening day opponent is, etc., etc. So the projections here. Oh, you know what? I'm a bad host, y'all, because I think I took some screenshots from this part of the year that I was supposed to share. Let me see if I did do that. Oh yeah. Here's the. I don't think I'm gonna bring it up. You guys saw, but I have the screenshot of Abner Uribe's scouting going up because I did the February player development report. Teado got some love. Scubo's stamina had gone up. Brant Herter got some. Actually, he had pluses and minuses. He had a couple greens and a couple reds mixed in there. And then like I said, Uribe. And then the preseason, like the before anything gets going, even in spring, those projections had us at 85 and 77, third in the division. And then I had a picture of our staff, or actually not our staff, it was this page. I'll show you. It was this page right here, the chemistry, which it is a little bit worse now. And by worse, I mean there are fewer names here, but you know what? I think that's because it was at the beginning of spring. And yeah, Dingler's off because he's on the IL. Creedler got sent out. So did Evan Carter. So there you go. There's 3 names removed. 1, 2, 3, bang. It's the same size list. So we're content right now. Now, that did drop a little bit. We did drop from happy to content, and that was from February 26th to April 2nd here. So that's a little bit of a bummer. Maybe that's because Itzhak Pacheco was another captain. So we had 2 captains. I don't know. I don't think that should change it that much. I'm fine with content. It's in the green. Our team isn't going to be fighting. They don't have to be the best friends ever, as long as they don't hate each other. Staff cohesion is happy, which is, again, fine. You love it when it's ecstatic and all that. It doesn't have to be. And then let's see, were any of these other screenshots that important? Not really. I guess they were fine then. But yeah, I was saving screenshots of potentially important things. Oh yeah, because I got Dingler's injury here. I've got Alex Lang's. And then there's the Abner Uribe picture. This Javier Osorio. I will get to him in a moment. Remember, a team had asked us for him. We did get some actually. You know what? Maybe I should share these. Hang on. Javier Osorio. He was asked for Sandy Alcantara, and I decided I didn't really want to do it. And I was like, if they're asking for him, maybe there's something there. And he did get another boost, I should say, not a little, another. He has been steadily rising. This is one to watch. And it was time to move him onto the top prospects list. So we'll see what happens with Osorio. He's now at high A. Maybe he wants to go up one more level. Can he? I think with the 60i, he can hold the Eastern League. I think we're going to promote him there. He went from angry to unhappy, so that's not bad. We'll take that. But yeah, and then Derek Curiel, a guy we took a stab at in this trade here with when we got Coar. We brought him in too. We figured, why not? Let's just see what's up. And he got a good scout. Big March improvement. Contact going up. Power, eye, defense. A lot of nice jumps there. Let's see. Surrey Gibson long. Just his movement. There was another one. Oh, somebody named Jack Clark. I don't even know who that is, to be honest. Like, I know who the big Jack Clark is in baseball, but our Jack Clark is this high A guy. He got a nice little jump there. You know, he's 23 at high A, a little bit behind the curve. We'll see if he can have a fast start, get moved up. Byron Chorio's contact and power went up for us. Oh, Colton Hartman's the last one I wanted to show y'all. Now, these are from the April 1st report, by the way, which I could have just brought up, I guess. Oh, he's another one who's just been steadily getting boosts. Okay, Colton Hartman, and he spent some time. Okay, he needs to move up. He definitely needs to move up. Is he ready for AAA? Now, let's go AA with him, especially because he has such a rotten avoid K. Let's let him cook at AA. Maybe he figures out how to strike out less. Maybe. Now, I did just take 2 guys from West Michigan. Let's make sure I'm not killing them there. Okay, they still have 17. That's good. That'll play. And then let's go to Erie. And see, they now have 18 hitters. And both the guys we moved up, Osorio and Hartman, both in the lineup. Bang. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I'd forgotten about those screenshots. Guys, I'm all over the place today. I'm sorry. I'm just not super sharp. Now, the preseason projections after spring training have us 91 and 71, 1 game back of the Twins. So they got another big battle between us here. Oh, by the way, this Oknarf, Amble Oknarf, this is Wander Franco. I don't want him in my game. I was going to delete him, but then, like, that kind of ruins maybe the balance of power for Tampa Bay or whatever. But obviously, scumbag with the stuff that he's been charged of. We'll see where it goes and everything. But I changed his name, so I didn't delete him from the game, but I just changed his name. We can, if he's like fully exonerated or whatever, I'll change his name back. But I have no problem acting first on somebody who's accused of something like that, at least in terms of this, right? Like, this is a harmless act for me to change his name in here. I have no problem like doing that before everything's out, because even if you're in the realm of what he's accused of, you're not making good choices. So I'm fine doing that. And again, if everything comes back and it's like, no, he was 100% fine, then I'll change his name back. But whatever, that's who that is. If you've seen that name popping around. Who's this guy? Gavin Cross. We got a big season coming for him from KC. We still can't get anybody in the hitters. Now, we don't have a lot of great hitters, but like Green's never getting in there, which is kind of a bummer. I was reading this Diaz guy here. Who's this? Who is this guy? Holy smokes. Tampa Bay, you sons of guns. Oh my God. Who is this absolute monster? So this is a guy who they got international free agent in 2019. So a real life guy that they've scooped, and he just clicked. He just absolutely exploded. Basically started in April of 2024, and it's just been green rush after green rush of improved numbers, to the point where he's now like the best player in baseball, like quite literally. 105 overall with a 115 potential. I don't know if anyone's better. This guy is obscene. Maybe I should get rid of Aknarf here, because they just replaced him with Diaz. Damn. Anyway, my goal is to get somebody in the damn hitter column. At least we got some pitchers. We got Elpidio Perez coming in, which is nice. I love when we get our relievers in, and it's like they respect what we do as stoppers. I'm sure it's just that they're in the stopper, but I feel like I treat it this way. I know it's wrong. I'm doing it to be funny, but like, I treat it as though the game sees what we do with stoppers, and they know we get triple digit innings out of them. So they gas them up a little bit for us. And they say, no. Oh, he's on Detroit. Oh, he's with Spore. Oh, they're going to run him. They're going to run him $130 minimum. And they got him for $157 in 98 games. Hell yeah, we'll do that. Joe Torre says, not enough. Pitch him more. And then Jackson Jobe getting in the mix, not Scooble. I saw double Detroit here. I thought it would be Perez and Scoobs. But it's Jobe with a 3.51 ERA. In 190 innings. Okay, why don't they put the whip there? That's annoying. I mean, I can do the hits allowed and walks. They're both right there. And I can run the numbers. I'm not good at math in my head, so I don't care to, and I'm not embarrassed to admit that I'm doing it on a calculator. It's a 1.23 whip, which is damn good. Perez, by the way, 2.92 ERA in those 157 innings. Now, that one I do know. I can obviously add those together. That's an easy 169. I don't have to do that. So that's a 108 whip for him. Pretty nasty. 11.8 Ks as well. So we got a couple guys. They like us to be in the mix. Let's get the season started here. We got the Angels. We're headed out to Anaheim. And they still have Fishboy. And we know Ohtani is no longer there. Hasn't been there for a while. He is in Cincy still? Yep. Flourishing out in Cincinnati. So, okay. They got Juan Yepes batting cleanup. They have Kelvin Caceres. Oh, didn't this guy... Why do I know this name? I feel like he didn't make an all-star team. I thought maybe he won an award. I swear I've seen this guy mention the name, but it doesn't stick out to me. What? Maybe it was just in the series against LA. We did run through 2 months series by series at the end of last year. So he's their ace. Then Montgomery and Lauer. So we got 2 lefties coming in. Let's get this series going. Actually, it's a 4-gamer. So the 4th guy will be Jack Flaherty, who could actually be an interesting fit for the Angels in real life this year. We'll see where he goes. I still believe in him as a reclamation if the right team gets him, and if his body cooperates, right? I know I harp on the injury point so often, but it's so important. It's everything, right? You can't do anything if you're not healthy. So I know it's kind of basic to be like, well, yeah, no shit if they're healthy. But like, for me, I still think Flaherty is a G when healthy. But is he ever going to get back to full health? That I don't know. Minor league system. One last thing. Sorry, I know I'm like edging y'all about this start of season. But let's save real quick because I got a little hiccup there that made me think like it might be crashing. Not that we've done a ton, but I just don't want it to eat up any of our progress. But let's look at this top 100, and then we'll do the Angels series, and then we'll be done. So still get out in under an hour. Nice little tight hour. Ethan Murray's the number 1 prospect for the Cards. He was, they got him from Washington. He was a 1-1 pick in 2024, and then they traded him with somebody else, Juan Abreu, for Yasiel Ramos. What the fuck is this trade, y'all? Are you kidding me? And they gave this dope reliever? What the hell did the Cardinals do? What were the Nats thinking? This guy is not that good. Okay, so OSA likes him as like a potential 70. So they're a bit higher than our guy. What do they like so much more? Okay, his contact and gap go up a good bit. Okay, like I see how it gets there. It doesn't change much for me. I'm sorry. It doesn't close the gap. Even if this scouting accuracy was very high and he had a firmer 70 potential, I don't give a shit, dude. What I don't understand is if you are going to do this, how is it not just a 1-for-1 deal? How are you getting something thrown in and a damn fine pitcher at that in Juan Abreu? I'm steamed about this, y'all. Where are these trades for me? Nowhere to be found. We don't have any top 10 guys. Ethan Murray, Carter Smith, Juan Carranza, Jesse Jakonski, Juan Yedes, Evan Maldonado, Christian Little, Noble Meyer, Juan Salazar, Gabriel Arujo. I should have said the teams there. I'm not going to say them again. I'm sorry. You'll have to look at the screen. There they are. And then top systems, we are 23rd. Shigoya over at 33rd and Gamble at 83rd. It's a bummer. I think Gamble went down, didn't he? When we got him, he was 75. He went down to 83. Where did Kason go? Did he go up? He did to 29. Shit, y'all. Did we make a mistake? Did we make a mistake? I don't know. I don't think we did. Let's compare them again real quick. Let's just keep not starting the season and see how long people stay tuned in. No, I'm not trying to do it on purpose. I just want to see real quick. I got to be honest. I still like our end. I mean, of course, things haven't really changed much, so I'm not expecting things to have been vastly different, but I still like what we did here. I really do. 60 power is important, and that's why Kason, like that carries him a good bit, that extra 10 there. That is a real game change between them. But everything else favors Gamble. And so, I think he could play into some more power perhaps. All right. Now, Angels. It's finally time. Game 1, Scoobs v. Caceres. What do we got? We'll do all 4 of these games, then we'll get out. 3-2 in 11, we lose. Bummer. Look at this EKG here at the end of the game. It was all steady, and then things going up and down all over the place because there was no scoring until the 8th. We get a run in the top, they immediately answer. We get a run in the 10th, they immediately answer, and then they get one in the 11th. That is tough. That is really tough, and it's 2 unearned runs. You got to be kidding me. I got to check in on these. 8th inning and 11th. 8th inning, bottom 8, single, ground out gets Ohapi to third, and that's fucking wild pitch. You got to be kidding me. Don't tell me this was a walk-off wild pitch. I'll scream. It was a single. Okay. Maybe that one wasn't unearned then. Maybe the one in the 8th was, or the 10th. The 10th was strikeout, hit by pitch, single, scores the run. Is that unearned because you hit him by pitch? I don't think, pitchers get off the hook quite a bit. Their own errors get them off the hook for earned runs. And in this case, maybe a hit by pitch does. That's stupid. You did that, especially with the error. Like, I don't think a pitcher's error should make it an unearned run. You did it. Anyway, errors are bullshit anyway. They don't call them. They're just a complete joke. All right, tough first loss. We'll get into game 2 here. Oh, wait, let's see what Morales and Geraldo come back. Geraldo, rather. Stamina drops for Morales, but his current movement goes up. Okay, whatever. Geraldo. His power potential goes up. Okay, cool. They were both on high. I wanted to get them on very high scouting, see what's what. All right, game 2. KBO predictions are coming in for those that were looking out for those. And we get a 4-3 win. So back-to-back one-run games here. Let's see how this one went. We scored 3 in the second and pretty much held on. We got the tack-on run in the 6th. They did get 3 in the 8th to make it a little scary. Vasquez and Teodo, welcome to the team. They both get knocked around a bit. Kevin Alcantara goes yard in the 6th. By the way, I didn't even check in on our offense in that first game. Did anybody do anything? Adames went bomb pop. He had 2 ribbies, 2 walks. He was the offense, so yeah, not a ton going there. Let's get game 3 here. Let's secure the split here. And we do with a 12-1 victory. Let's go. Aaron Ashby, 6 2/3, 4 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 5 punchies. Ridings, who's this? Steven Ridings. Oh yeah, I know him from real life. Yankee guy, maybe? Yankee and Matt. Okay. Then Lauer. Okay, so Lauer gets an opener. Well, it didn't work. He got crushed. Matt Manning with 2 1/3, no hit. You love to see it. Perfect, in fact. No walks either. Riley Green goes bomb pop. So does Sergio Mendoza. I like that. I'd love to see him get off to a fast start. Jace Young, 3 for 6. He's like, lower my ratings. I don't give a shit. I'm still awesome. Multi-hits for the bottom 4 in the lineup. 3 for Adames, 2 for Mendoza, Aliendo, and Parker Meadows. That makes me so happy. And can we get the series win? We do not. We lose 9-6. So we take a split in Anaheim, a 4-gamer. I'm fine with that. It's tough to take 4-game sets. Reese Olson gives up 1 hit in 3 1/3, but it ends up being 5 runs because he walks 3. Only 4 of them were earned. What the hell was going on with any of this? What a nightmare. And then who's this Carey guy? Brett Carey. We didn't see him as one of their starters. They made some changes. But anyway, it didn't go well for him. It didn't matter. They got to the bullpen. Uribe. Okay, it might have just been an availability thing, but I don't quite understand how that would have been low leverage, but whatever. That's all right. That's all right. That's going to happen sometimes. Coar wasn't terribly strong either. Offensively, Green hit his second. 4-hit day for Jace Young. 2 for 4 with 5 ribbies for Green. 2 for 5 rather for Watanabe. So, all right. A little 2-2 biddy there in the opening set. We're going to get Texas. They're going to throw Louis Varland, Dylan Bundy, and Luis Severino. Dylan Bundy's still knocking around. He's a control artist now, spark plug personality. He pitched in Colorado last year, and it went how you would expect. All right, so in the interest of not lying for the 3rd straight video, I don't know where we're going to be when I come back. Probably somewhere in June or July. One of those two, depending on how the season's going. If I want to jump in and, tell you about some big trade if we do that, or I hope that this doesn't happen, but if I got to come in and say, oh, we've had some injuries or something. So it'll be somewhere in the June, July area. I'll get through April. I'll almost certainly get through May, and then pick up somewhere here for episode 22. And we'll assess where we're at and what's going on. By the way, I like the symmetry here of these 4 Mondays off in a row in June. So anyway, appreciate y'all watching. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.